Let's talk about some ways to increase your manliness and the energy you bring to the world today. You probably have no idea of your own potential or even what you are capable of. This advice that we've been given for the better part of our lives to be feminine, weak, submissive, and a good boy is so destructive because it goes against everything we've ever known about ourselves. As men, it is our duty to make an effort to adopt and maintain these practices. The following are 8 practices that will help us become more manly men. Number 1, manly men compete for the top spot. You can beat your past self, which is fantastic, but you can't beat yourself. That's just a silly newfangled concept for cowardly men who don't have the guts to go head-to-head with other men because it's scary and difficult. They're telling themselves that, at least, I'm not trying to outdo them in any way. In all honesty, why wouldn't you? I always find it perplexing when I hear a young man say, "Oh, I'm not competing against anyone else." That's a great perk of having male gender. Find a guy with the same objective as you and challenge him to a competition. That's where the real fun is. To be honest, what young man wouldn't want to do something like that? You may not realize this just yet, but the problems of today's world have likely destroyed your desire to compete with other people. You enrolled in the school system, and upon entering, you received a participation trophy, just like everyone else. There may have been some pressure on the boys who excelled in sports to step aside and give the other kids a chance to shine. The educational system has feminized to the point where boys no longer compete. The concept of competition is central to masculinity. As you battle, your primal energy, which has been taken from you in the past, will return to you. It's a man's nature to compete with other men. It's a defining characteristic of manhood. Number 2 is legal fighting. If you haven't already, I highly recommend watching Fight Club. It perfectly captures this concept. Brad Pitt and the other man enter the secret chamber and begin fighting like men. There's probably a deep philosophical reason for it, but one simple explanation is that when men engage in violent conflict with one another, they release their pent-up primal energy. Obviously, we can't carry it out in that precise manner. For men, I now understand actual physical combat is crucial. Martial arts training is one of the best things you can do as a young man because it teaches you discipline while also allowing you to hang out with your friends, brothers, favorite gym, favorite coach, and other guys. Thirdly, fine-tuning one's diet. You wouldn't think it relevant that we discuss diet, but we do. No, I don't post videos about working out on YouTube. I will not tell you how many calories and grams of protein you should consume per kilogram of body weight. Nice as that is, if you want to get the most out of your bodybuilding experience, you need to look elsewhere. Most of these fitness influencers on YouTube, however, are eating in a way that negatively affects their emotional well-being, physical wellness, and hormone balance. These days, you can find fitness YouTubers, I won't name names, flexing like this next to their kitchen tables, with packs of Cocoa Pops in hand. Their fans have been led to believe that they eat like children, and that they themselves do so in order to maintain their strict adherence to macronutrient ratios. Like, I need to consume 200 grams of carbohydrates, and I assume that Cocoa Pop counts as one of those. Okay, but it's just sugar, so okay, cool it, bro. They must consume several hundred grams of sugar daily if this is true. So, let's talk about how to eat to boost your testosterone levels and, by extension, your masculinity. Delete all alcoholic beverages and sugary foods from your daily diet. You shouldn't indulge in these things every week, but it's okay to break your diet every so often if you really want to. Working out with weights is the 4th. We'll skim over this topic because it's something we regularly discuss while weight training, and more specifically while bodybuilding. Putting in the work to build a body you can be proud of has its benefits, especially in terms of health, but it also has a profound effect on your masculine energy. To what extent do you benefit from a good appearance? I've managed to change the minds of most young men, I think. People used to look down on those who said they cared about their appearance before I made my debut. They would say things like, "Oh, you shouldn't care how you look." Nonsense. As soon as I understood this, I gained a newfound sense of self-assurance. Sure, I'd be pleased with my physical appearance. Naturally, I do. While the health benefits of regular gym attendance are undeniable, there is much to be said for focusing on the aesthetic benefits of weight training, such as the enhancement of muscle tone and the reduction of body fat. You want to find the most effective exercise plans to help you reach your goal and create a body of which you can be proud and which may even be attractive to women. 5. Engage with stunning females. When you're in the company of attractive women, your masculine side will emerge. Now, the problem is that most modern women aren't feminine, and being around a masculine woman will make you feel more feminine yourself. You need to spend time with women who have significantly less masculine energy than you do. Because when you have this divergent, when you are so much more masculine than she is, you will feel amazing next to her. You are much more focused on work than she is. Without any external stimulation, I become aroused when I am in the presence of a woman whose feminine energy is significantly higher than mine, while my muscular energy is significantly lower. That's how stunningly lovely this whole thing is. Interacting with a woman who exudes femininity. Interestingly, this need not be with a woman who is totally beautiful. Keep the seed. That's point number 6. Therefore, we should want women, relationships, love, and dating, but we should be cautious about wasting seed. Maybe this is the first time you've heard this, or maybe you've seen a million NoFap's human retention videos, but being a man is not always a good thing. You already know what I'm going to say, but many men are unaware of this. While this may seem strange, many men don't give any thought to the long-term effects of releasing seed too frequently. If you're hearing this for the first time, just go with me on this. Like, if you could just trust me at face value. If I had to give you a rule, it would be to try to release seed no more than once a week. I wouldn't recommend continuing to fap if this is the case, but if you insist on doing so, I'd say no more than once per week is acceptable. You can't be a man without seed. It's strange, and maybe no one's ever said it before. Seed is incredibly valuable to have within you, but you've never heard it taught in school, and your parents have never said it. So consider this your first real education class from someone who is at least unfiltered. Exhaling it provides a sense of relief and a modicum of self-responsible pleasure. It's pleasant enough at the time, but the return on investment, ROI, is negative because you'll feel less masculine in the days following seed release. 7. Keep your head up and your back straight. According to Jordan Peterson, that is the first rule of life, and it goes much deeper than you might think. This expression has more significance than just a physical posture. Having good posture and such is admirable. You've probably heard this before. However, Peterson elaborates, telling us that this is just the tip of the iceberg, and that your body language actually correlates to your position in society, like status, and that this in turn correlates with your happiness. Men who have begun the pursuit of hierarchy often go on to advance their social standing. My personal opinion is that our physical makeup is different. Saddeningly, I believe that many men are broken in some way, and I believe that this is largely the result of modern conditioning. Their need to prove their manhood by achieving high positions. I keep running into these stereotypically feminine men online who have given up and claim they don't care about their social standing. That you ask such a cringeworthy question, why can't you just be happy where you are? Makes me wonder if you're even a man. With that phrase, I assume you're a man. You can't be content with your lot in life if you harbor even a trace of manliness. If you're a real man, you'll never be content with being a loser. You can only truly understand what it's like to be at the very bottom of the social hierarchy if you've been a man. Can you not imagine how it is every day? To be at the bottom of this social hierarchy is a terrible place to be, as any man will tell you. Please describe how you've been feeling in the last few moments. This will speak volumes about your manhood. If it piqued your interest, that's a sign that you're a manly man. To any man who felt threatened or repulsed by that, the feminization of men has already killed you. Increasing your mental fitness is step number 8. I don't think many people discuss this, and in my experience, those who do tend to be very feminine, which is problematic because I've found that if you go the route of men's mental health, it's usually those kinds of guys who will lead you astray. As a result, you'll need to take this matter into your own hands.